Welcome back to the Motivated Savages podcast, where we live bold, lead fearless, and ignite our path forward. If you've been walking with me through these first episodes, you know this podcast has been building like a story. We've talked about the survival seasons, the hustles, the unexpected turns, and the spark that became Motivated Savages. Then, in episode 5, we focused on momentum. How to keep moving forward when life feels messy and overwhelming. But today, we're going to crack open something deeper. Not the actions you take, but the beliefs behind those actions. Because, let's be honest, sometimes it's not the to-do list holding us back. It's the script in our head that keeps replaying old lines. And here's the kicker. A lot of those lines aren't even ours. They've been handed down, passed around, and absorbed over the years. Some go back generations, like a hand-me-down sofa you never asked for, but somehow ended up hauling it into your living room anyway. Today, I want to talk about how we break those scripts, how we flip the words that keep us small, and how we start living from beliefs that actually push us forward. Because the truth is, you're not stuck. You're just reading from an old script, and it's time to write a new one. Beliefs are sneaky little things. They don't announce themselves with flashing lights and a warning siren. They just live under the surface, shaping your decisions and reactions without you even realizing it. Think about some of the things you've probably heard 1,000 times. Work has to be hard to matter. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's just the way I am. People like us don't do things like that. None of those are facts. They're beliefs. And beliefs feel so familiar, so ingrained, that we stop questioning them. We just accept them as the rules of the game. But what happens when those rules don't actually serve you? When they keep you from taking the leap, starting the business, writing the book, or even believing you deserve more. Unchecked beliefs become invisible walls. They don't just limit what you do, they shrink who you believe you are. But here's the good news. If a belief can be learned, it can be unlearned. If it can be absorbed, it can be rewritten. And once you start rewriting your beliefs, something else shifts with them. Let me tell you about my house. If you walked in right now, you'd think I bought stock in 3M. Red sticky notes are everywhere. On the bathroom mirror, on the fridge, next to my computer. These sticky notes aren't reminders to pick up milk or pay the water bill. They're flip beliefs. Some examples, I had an old script that I never have enough time. And I flipped it to I can find 10 minutes and 10 minutes matters. My old one was I'm not patient. And I flipped it to I can practice patience in this moment. It might sound silly, it might look ridiculous, but it works. Because when you see those notes over and over again, your brain starts to adopt them. They get louder than the old lines you've been reciting for years. And here's the funny part. My kids see them too. They'll walk past a sticky note on the fridge that says, I choose focus, and laugh. Mom, you really need that one today. And they're not wrong. But they're also watching. They're learning that you can choose to rewrite the story you tell yourself. So yes, my house looks like a motivational art project gone wild. But every sticky note is a tiny rebellion against the old script. Now let's zoom out. Those sticky notes aren't just daily pep talks. They're tools for chipping away at something much bigger. My paradigm. A paradigm is just a lens. It's how you see the world. Imagine wearing sunglasses you didn't even know you had on. If the lenses are tinted dark, everything looks dim. If they're scratched, everything looks distorted. And if you never take them off, you assume that's just how the world looks. That's what limiting beliefs are. They're lenses you inherited, maybe from your parents or your culture. It might have been a teacher who said you weren't good enough, or a boss who told you to stay in your own lane. But here's the game changer. You can swap out those lenses. You can choose a new paradigm. And once you do, everything you see changes. Suddenly, opportunities look possible. Obstacles look like challenges instead of dead ends. And this isn't just about you. When you shift your paradigm, others notice. Your friends and your team notice. One person rewriting their script can ripple out further than they'll ever realize. Now let's keep it real for a second. Flipping beliefs doesn't turn you into a walking Pinterest board of positivity. Some days, it looks like muttering, new script, while you're unloading the dishwasher and trying not to lose it. Other days, it's your spouse finding your sticky note that says, I am calm, taped to the coffee pot, and laughing out loud because calm is the last thing you are before caffeine. And that's fine. Growth isn't about never slipping. It's about catching yourself, flipping one thought, and practicing until it sticks. And when your people notice, even better. You're showing them that growth doesn't have to be hidden or polished. It can be messy, fun, and out loud. So how do you start flipping your own script? Simple. Don't overthink it. First, you listen for the belief that feels heavy. It might be obvious, like I can't, or sneaky, like that's just who I am. And then write it down. Make it visible. After that, flip it. I can't becomes I'm learning. I don't have time becomes I can carve out 10 minutes. Next, put it somewhere you'll see it. On the mirror, your fridge, your laptop, on your car dashboard. And that's it. You don't need a perfect journal or a $200 planner. You just need a sticky note and the willingness to practice. And practice matters more than perfection. Each flip belief is a step away from the old paradigm and a step toward the life you want to build. Now let me pause here because this matters. You don't have to sprint. You don't have to wallpaper your house in sticky notes. And your version doesn't have to look like mine. Maybe you flip one belief a week, or you keep a journal. Maybe you say your new belief out loud once a day. And listen, some of you are sprinting ahead, ready to overhaul everything at once. And others are moving carefully, one shaky step at a time. And both are valid. Both are growth. The only wrong move is not starting. And this brings us to our Savage Challenge of the week. And I want us to do this together. For the next 7 days, every time you catch a limiting belief, flip it, write it down, and put it somewhere you'll see it. Then, and this is the part that makes it powerful, share one of those flip beliefs out loud. Tell a friend or a coworker. Post it online if you're feeling bold. Because when we rewrite our stories out loud, we give other people permission to do the same. This is how we build momentum together. Not by pretending we have it all figured out, but by sharing the process, the practice, and the progress. I'm Jody Savage, and this is the Motivated Savages podcast. Live bold, ignite your path, That's the Savage way. If this episode resonated, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's ready to break their own script. And if you want to carry this message with you, check out our merch line at motivatedsavages.com. We've designed gear to remind you to live bold every day. Together, we'll keep building the Savage community, a movement of people choosing purpose, growth, and bold living.